Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yes, sir. The beat. Still beat, still beat. Yes, sir. 23.7 the beat. Ooh, yes, sir. Still beat, still beat.
I'm speechless. That's all I gotta say. I am definitely speechless. You know, we've talked a lot recently on the show about, you know, updating my intro music and everything else, and you just took it to a whole new level. Man, there was some photos in there where I looked like I was about 12, and then there's some action shots. Yeah, you probably caught the best one. I don't know what reporter took that photo of me. I think it was my closing argument where I had this like super determined, angry face. Mm-hmm. But I've seen that photo more than you know. So kudos, hats off to whoever took that photo of me in action.
Well, we hope you're happy, DJ. We hope you're happy. You know, wow, it's been you've been working hard out here for the community for a while, and I know today you're going to talk about some important cases and things. And you've been working hard, so I figured let's change it up. It don't take away from that award-winning intro that Big Rob did. That's
of
always
course
going to be the first. You know,
yeah, I mean it's just an evolution, is all. It's just an evolution.
Yeah.
No, it was fantastic. It was upbeat. Like I said, a lot of the good nostalgia photographs there. Thank you, PA, for that. And you missed it because he was dying laughing.
I saw him. I saw him in the background.
Yeah.
I saw him.
Yeah, it's nice that your friends can enjoy
poking fun.
No, for sure. Not that it was a very serious intro, and I love it. In fact, I want a recording of it because I may use that later on in life.
Right.
But thank you for that.
Yeah, I put my heart into that, Big Rob. I put my heart into that.
I believe you did, sir. It looks like you did. Hours of work, days, weeks, waking up in the middle of the night. Hey, what about this picture?
Listen, it looked like a lot of internet trolling as far as I'm concerned, but
it was. I mean, a lot. Right clicking, a lot of right clicking, man.
Well, yeah. So hey, listen. Go ahead.
I'll let you get started. I'll let you get started, and I'll sit back and after you, I sit back and just ask the question after you get started because I know there's a lot you want to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were going to ask me a question.
No, you said you're going to let.
Okay. I'm sorry. Well, first of all, welcome, Muskegon. We typically don't do this on my show. We don't do both audio and video.
Yeah.
So welcome to the internet watchers, if you will. And thank you.
We got 15 of them.
Oh, well, I mean, that
16. just
oh,
went
look,
up.
I tell you, the viewership has increased. I mean, I need to talk about my contract after this show tonight.
You talk to Paul. He'll be back. When Paul? A couple of days.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I know the check's in the mail.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, on a serious note, first and foremost, I really think, this conversation really does not have a lot of substance to it unless we really talk about, I'll say, the timeline, if you will. And uh, unfortunately, as many of our people that listen and then that are watching know, we sometimes deal with tragedy in our community, and we deal with folks that are doing violent things, and victims that are a result of that, and unfortunately, the good families that are left to worry about all the details that follow that, including dealing with the police and ultimately hopefully with the prosecutor's office. And I just want to say first and foremost that Miss Anna, who is the mother of the case that we're going to talk about, is one of the most strong, courageous, dedicated, and just persevering women that I've ever met in my career and in my life. And really, without her, we're probably not going to be, where we're at, what I'm going to talk about here. That's going to happen tomorrow morning. And I just want to say that I've had the opportunity on a few occasions, I should say multiple occasions, to talk and meet with her, including a conversation that I had with her not too long ago with some of her family members. And she is just such a wonderful lady, and truly is the driving force behind a lot of what we did as an office and what we were able to accomplish. And so nothing really starts until we give her a lot of credit, because that's a woman that had to endure decades of pain and suffering and wonderment, prior to the things that we were able to accomplish through this investigation. So I wanted to start with that. And for those who may not know what I'm talking about, in 1991, a young woman by the name of Frida Covington was brutally murdered in front of her house, stabbed multiple times, and killed. And the investigation that followed was relatively thorough, and you have to remember that this was 1991, and so the way how things were investigated, and what was available to investigators as far as resources and how things are processed is a lot different in 1991 than it is today. And so I guess I want the community to understand that even though it has taken this long, it is not because of the fault of anybody in law enforcement or investigation. It just we were able to take advantage of things today that they didn't even know it existed back in 1991. I think that's important to for people to understand. So my hat's off to all the Muskegon Police Department officers that responded initially to that call in 1991, and I have to give special recognition to my friend Detective Mike Ferrier. This case really this investigation, I should say, really comes to my knowledge when I'm an assistant prosecutor. And Mike Ferrier is now retired from the city of Muskegon and working as an investigator in the prosecutor's office at the time in our child support division. And I remember when the administration decided to start up a cold case task force, which I had the privilege of being a part of. This case came on our radar, and part of the reason was because Mike Ferrier was in the prosecutor's office at the time, and I remember him telling me the story. I remember him telling me how much this case haunted him only because he couldn't solve it, and then he had a picture of Frida Covington pinned on his cubicle wall that he would look at from time to time. And Miss Anna even also indicated that he would check in on her and Frida's kids on a routine basis. That's above and beyond, the call of duty, if you will. And that's just how much, those folks meant to Detective Ferrier, and how much this case meant to him, this investigation. And that's why, when we were getting to the point where we are today, I had Mike come to the office and be a part of the conversation I had with the family, because I think he deserved it. And ultimately, because this case meant so much to him. And so that I want to make sure that I give him some kudos for that. The other,
Wow.
Go ahead. Did you have a question? I'm sorry.
Yeah. The question on that meeting that you had with the family.
Yeah.
What was that like, and like how many people there? I heard it was like different departments, people who had retired, and just a bunch of people who came in.
Yeah, I mean, and this is gonna shock you. This is gonna be a long-winded answer, so relax and enjoy sit back and enjoy the ride, because as we fast forward to certainly in 2000, I think it was 2004, we had that cold case task force, which I was a part of, and we took a look at this case, and we took it to as far as we could go without really being able to come to any end result, and then it sort of sat on the shelf, if you will, for a period of time, and then you fast forward to about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, Detective Scott Liskey from the Muskegon Police Department called me up and said, "Hey, I'm aware of this case," and he mentioned this to Miss Anna. That they put up billboards on a yearly basis asking for people with information to come forward on this particular case. And I remember seeing those billboards around town, and that impacted him so much as a patrolman that when he became detective, he called and said, "Hey, would you mind if I kind of reopen this case and started looking at it?" And I said, "Absolutely not. Have at it. I mean, if you feel like this is a calling to you, essentially, go ahead and do it." And so he did. And then through the course of time, as he was working on it, one of my assistant prosecutors, newly retired from another office and came to work for me. And this was sort of her forte, doing cold case investigations, indicated that after she had tried a murder case, that Miss Anna actually was in the audience and approached her and said, would you please, take a look at my daughter's case? And she came to me, that my assistant came to me and said, "Do you mind if I get involved in this?" I said, "Absolutely not. Jump on board. Let's go." She has the expertise, and I'm, it's Kelly Konski. And I don't know if she's listening or not, but Kelly Konski is unbelievable. That you get lucky sometimes as a boss, and it doesn't matter what industry, when you hire really good people, and it turns out that they are really good people. Well, Kelly is a really good person, but also one of the best prosecutors on the west side of the state, if not the state of Michigan. And she happens to now work for me, and took it upon herself and dove headfirst into this case. And when I was lucky enough to scrap together some shekels and be able to hire an investigator, I got one of the best in the business, Jason Hartman, who had retired from the Michigan State Police as a detective sergeant. And he joined Kelly, along with the help of Detective Liskey and Detective Sergeant Tim Titus of the Muskegon Police Department, and took this thing on to a level that I had never seen before in an investigation. We're talking about, tens to 20s of interviews, re-interviews, chasing people down across state lines, all that stuff, essentially re-looking at all the evidence that was collected at the scene at the time of the incident. And because of Kelly's relationship with the Michigan State Police Crime Lab, in particular in their forensic division, was able to leverage that in order to get them to test some things that hadn't been tested. And again, it wasn't an oversight on anybody's part. It's just that the technology at the time didn't exist, whereas today, we're really blessed to have science, forensic science, at a different level than it was even back in 2004, let alone 1991. So all that to say that over this period of time that all this stuff was going on, and the hours that were put into it, and you know what was really what I think what people don't know, what happens behind the scenes a lot in these investigations is that, you know, again, what I'm talking about from police departments is pretty regular, pretty usual, and certainly the dedication of my staff is the same. But what was really cool to see is that not only as this thing was progressing, a couple other assistants in my office started taking interest and were helping out. I had support staff members working on this, helping out. And literally when an interview was happening, you know, it's sort of broadcast in my office. And so I would walk into my office sometime and there'd be 5 or 6 people sitting around my conference table intently watching, taking notes. And so to get back to your question, PA, when we had this meeting with the family, it was with everybody. Because I, you know, as much as, you know, my name is on the door, certainly, and I get to be the face of the office. What I told her and what I told Kelly, I said, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to introduce to you the team that has been working on this, but I didn't do the work. I'm not going to take credit for that. I'm going to give the flowers where they are due, and that is to the people that are sitting around this table, and allowed Kelly to kind of talk Miss Anna through where the investigation was and where it had taken them, and quite frankly, you know, it was just it was one of those moments, you know, where you really treasure being able to deliver good news, because, you know, a lot of times in those conversations, you know, and I've had several over my career, certainly as the elected, and they're always surrounding dire or bad circumstances. They're always dealing with pain and tragedy and death. And this, I mean, certainly this is a murder investigation, so we have all that, but this was a different conversation. And certainly being able to meet Frida's children, who are now adults. They were kids at the time, but they're now adults. And again, to have those conversations with them was a really special moment. One that, you know, it's one of those moments that you won't forget. I don't plan on forgetting it. And so, yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It was really cool.
Wow. So tomorrow you will make the charges in the morning.
Yeah. So the big news here is that the case that started in 1991 and has led us to just about 34, a little over 34 years later, we have come to the point now where we believe that we have the evidence that points to a suspect, and that person will be charged formally for the murder of Telfreda Covington tomorrow morning. Wow.
Now, do the suspect know that they're being charged, or they'll find out tomorrow morning?
You know, it is sort of interesting how word travels a little bit, and you know, I suspected that after, you know, we had conversations with individuals similarly to. I just want to give a shout out to my other news media friends that I'm sure are watching or listening. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, I mean, I suspect he probably knows. I mean, certainly there were people within his circle that were talked to. And it wouldn't surprise me.
Do you expect more than one person to be charged, DJ?
Right now, I mean, the evidence is suggesting one, but, you know, just like any investigation, I think one of the things that I really want the community to understand, and, you know, as much as I want to celebrate the success here, we still have a lot of cases that are cold, that are unsolved, and certainly I think Kelly's getting ready to start working on another one here very shortly. You know, not all get to this. We can't always get to this conclusion, and so I don't want to. I guess I don't want to give any false hope, but I do want the community to understand and recognize that even though we have some closed, or I'll say cold cases, when information comes in, we don't just sit on it, we act on it. And this case is no different than any other cold case that the office has. When information comes in, we act on it and we move. And now, I'm fortunate to have some of the, I'll say, resources available to me that allows me to, take somebody out of court and assign them to work on a particular piece of information or a lead. And that to me is a blessing. I mean, again, it's something that this community may not know exists because again, we don't go around and trumpet it. I mean, I don't think that's appropriate, but I want everybody to know that with cooperation with our law enforcement teams from all across the county, everybody has the same mindset that we will never give up. We will never stop. And we will take everything to the bitter end. And if we get lucky and we're in a position like we are in this case, where you can issue charges, regardless of, how old it is and regardless of where people are at, we're going to charge it. We're just going to charge it because, again, Telfrida deserves that. And her mother deserves that. And as kind as she was, indicating even early on that, it didn't matter whether or not we could charge this case. She just kind of wanted to hear if we could determine who. It was nice to deliver the message to her that we were in a position to issue charges.
Wow. Now, DJ, there were a private investigator, a criminologist who kind of worked this case a little bit on the side, outside of what the police was doing. During the time, I don't think the case was reopened. Mm-hmm. Was he any kind of aid to the police department? The information that was provided?
Yeah, not to my knowledge. I would imagine that if any report had been generated out of that Kelly had it in her possession. But in my conversations with the investigative team on a I'll say routine basis, even as we were getting closer here to the end, that really wasn't mentioned at all as being a key piece to the investigation. I really think. And again, I just want people to understand too that I'm not playing fast and loose here, coy with you audience members and certainly with you media people, but I do have some ethical constraints. There are some rules of professional responsibility that basically hamstring me from talking really about any details. But more importantly, the case hasn't officially been charged, so that's why I'm not even mentioning names, right. Because I it's really important for me to maintain my ethical responsibility as a prosecutor. And so, once we've charged it, name will be out, and I'm happy to discuss it. But, my ethics as it relates to evidence and what is, what led us to where and who said what, I can't answer those questions because those will be answered in a courtroom.
They have to go to trial first, correct?
Well, even preliminary examination. I mean,
Right.
Once we get into an open courtroom, a lot of stuff is going to come out. I think one of the things that I can mention is that, again, because of the age of the case and I've said this many times on this show where time is the enemy of the prosecution, right? The more time that passes, the harder it is for us. And this is a perfect example of that. I mean, we have, for example, the original medical examiner that did the autopsy is since deceased. Some of the original investigators are now deceased. And so, when we're talking about, how we're going to move forward and making sure that we preserve what we have, I think you're going to find that this particular preliminary examination, whenever it happens, and as Kelly has mentioned to me, is going to be a mini trial, and it really is. And it's going to be outside of what you would normally expect for a preliminary examination, only because we have to make sure that we preserve what we have. And so that we don't lose something between exam and a trial date that was important that we could have preserved. And so this is going to be a little bit different. And certainly I think it's going to be worth watching only because a lot of information is going to come out.
All right.
Wow. This is major, DJ. 34 years. I knew Telfrida. I know the family. And it's just, I was hurt, when I found it. I attended Holy Trinity, she attended Holy Trinity. I know the whole family and definitely didn't deserve this. And, it's good to be able to see, justice being served. for her, for the family, for her kids, her grandkids, who were stripped of their grandmother, of their mother, who was worthy of knowing and being around, a beautiful lady, man. So I thank you for, when we met with you a couple of years, I think it's been a couple of years ago, you made a commitment, and you've been an open prosecutor about that commitment, and you made a commitment to Miss Covington, and I just appreciate you, and that's why I'm on this feed, even though it's like 9:25 p.m. where I'm at right now. It's pitch night, but I wanted to be a part of this conversation because it had a piece of my heart, and it means a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the one kudo I forgot to mention, and I'm embarrassed that I did, was the fact that I do remember you calling me and actually coming in with Miss Anna into my office and talking about it, about the case, and about whether or not there was something that we could do. And again, to me, what I've always loved about what I do, my role, I guess, in this community is the idea that, you and Big Rob and other community leaders and community members, don't, fear is just the wrong way to, but have no problem reaching out. And again, I have no problem receiving that. And, having whether it be a hard conversation or having the conversation that we had, I think it's really important that when you take on a role like this, as an elected official, but more importantly as the prosecutor, that you have to understand that ultimately you have a responsibility to not only try to do your best to make sure that people have the ability to enjoy life free of worry and not fear for their safety, but also make sure that you're available and that you have those conversations. I mean, I one of the benefits that I always talk about in my job is I get to meet some really great people.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, unfortunately, I'm meeting great people in dire and bad circumstances, but they're great people. And so, to me, being able to reach out to you guys, because listen, as far as I'm concerned, you're part of the inner circle, and I value your opinion, and I've come to that a few times. Because again, my job, I can't do my job if I'm not listening. And again, it doesn't always mean I'm going to agree, because sometimes we can agree to disagree. But if I'm not listening, then I'm not doing my job. And so I appreciate you guys.
How are the children, her children, with this news that there will be some charges, someone will be charged? Their anticipation to see, and know who took their mother from them.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you would expect. I mean, nobody was jumping up and down, shouting for joy, but it was, I think, a sense of relief. You could see sort of the 30 plus years of that weight just being lifted. And that I mean, you just could sense that, and that was true for the kids as well. And obviously the hard part, I mean, the easy part, really, I mean, in some respects, the easy part is making the charging decision and charging, and now going through the system and in the due process of it all, which is very important. Certainly is the next step, and the fight isn't over. And I have full faith and trust in the team, the investigative team, and in my prosecution team that's going to handle this case. That we are going to give it everything that we got, and in the end, I believe that there is certainly sufficient evidence for the jury to make a decision on this case.
Now, will you be trying this case, or will one of your assistants be trying it? Because
No.
I know you try some cases, especially ones that's going to get a lot of media attention, and this is one that's going to get a lot of media attention.
Well, I appreciate you putting me on the spot like that, Big Rob. Thank you.
Yeah, that wasn't good, Rob. Not he didn't
No.
mean it like that, DJ.
No.
Cases that are very
Yeah, no,
sensitive.
no.
You try sensitive cases. Not that's what he meant to say.
No, I know. I'm teasing him. I'm teasing him.
Me and him had a conversation already, PA.
No, listen, Kelly has worked this case. She knows all the nooks and crannies, all the ins and outs. And that it would be foolish of me to then say, okay, thank you for all your hard work. I'm going to take over. That's dumb.
Oh, okay.
She's going to try this case. Again, a veteran of prosecution for over 25 years, knows her stuff, and she's a phenomenal trial lawyer. And I got no problem passing the spotlight torch to her, even though she's told me many times, I'm not talking to anybody. I said, well, if I tell you you have to, you got to. So I hope she's listening, because I'm already getting ready to book her on some events. No, I'm kidding. No, listen, yeah, I mean it as much as I would love to jump in and do this case, I'm still working on a couple other cases that are that are taking up my time, and so this is hers, and it's the right person for it, for sure.
Because I know you always made the statement, you want to keep your courtroom experience up.
Yes.
You lose that sometimes if you're the elected and all you're doing is assigning cases and sitting back.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why, PA, I asked that question, because he always said, I don't mind going in the courtroom. I got to keep my skills up, so that's why I asked.
No, listen, I'm biting off on a couple of things, as you know.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
All
too.
right, yeah,
I read an article today. We need to talk.
Oh, all right, yeah. So yeah, I got a case on the east side of the state that I've been working on for the last 3 years as of today.
Wow.
And I'm also working on one of the vehicle fatality cases that happened a few weeks ago. So my plate is full.
That's enough for you.
Well, on top of everything else that I got going on. So my plate, yeah.
This and I know we 30 something. We've been talking about it for 30 minutes, but this is an important topic. But you not too long ago they exhumed the body out of and had a service. Did that help at all? Does that did that make a big difference in this investigation?
Well, that was a big decision that we had to make, and thankfully, Miss Anna was on board with it. In fact, it was she that suggested it, and what we were hoping to maybe discover is some physical evidence that might help us in some other determinations, and unfortunately, when the body was exhumed, the casket was kind of in bad shape. And there wasn't anything there that the forensic folks could find that was going to be of any value. But, I think everybody involved, including the family, was appreciative of those efforts, only because, we would be asking, what if, would there be something there? Now we know that there's nothing there for us that is of any strong evidentiary value. And so we and it was, it was nice because a lot of members of my staff attended the service last Thursday in support. And again, it's like reopening old wounds that you had sort of, had not forgotten, but were recovering from. But the nice thing is that there was a brand new casket donated, and we're working on making sure that the state of Michigan picks up the tab on that, since it was during a criminal investigation.
Wow.
So I'm hoping that as far as expenses are concerned, nobody from certainly the family bears those expenses, but it's handled through the state.
Well, we got a comment online, a couple of comments, and I believe this is Telfrida's daughter, Keisha Covington, saying thank you. Also, Andre Anthony, Great job. God is making a way for justice. Also, online comment, such a great decision by the family to do that. A lot of emotions and unhealed wounds exposed again. God's blessings upon the Covington family. George Covington, who is the baby brother of Telfreda Covington, said, all praises due to Allah, justice for my sister. Said, thank you. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that it's so nice to hear all those nice things, and thank you for that. You know, it's this job comes with a lot of different things, you know, and it's really nice to be able to deliver news like this and to live up to the community standards when I was elected initially and when I was elected just reelected just recently. And so, you know, we're going to continue to move forward and do all those things that we can. And you know, again, it really is to me, it's really uplifting to just have the community rally behind things like this. You know, I felt that during the Jeff Willis case and trials, and you know, again, you know, you try to absorb it in, but understand that there's still a lot of work to do yet, and hope that we can live up to all those expectations. But I'm confident with the team that we have that we're going to be able to do that. And you know, again, it's one of those things that as a person who gets to assemble the folks that are doing all the heavy lifting day in and day out, to have the team that I have in my office that are representing all of you is something very special. And I do not take that for granted. That's for sure.
DJ, accessory for homicide. What's the statute of limitations on that?
Well, I mean, you know, ultimately, how somebody gets charged as an aider and abettor, they're essentially charged with the same crime. So the statute of limitations is the same. So for murder, there is no statute of limitations, and so you all that's different is that we're arguing under a different theory. So as opposed to maybe the main actor or actress. If somebody helps and assists in the particular crime, they're as guilty as long as two things are I guess evidence shows two things. One, they had an intent for the crime to happen, and they did something to assist in the furtherance of the crime. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you actually, you know, stabbed or shot or did whatever to somebody. It could mean that you were a lookout, that you drove the person away. Maybe you hid a piece of evidence. All those things can be taken into consideration in making a determination as to whether or not you aided and abetted a particular crime.
Now, something comes out in this case where there was another person involved. You can charge them at that time.
Absolutely.
Once you get the evidence,
Yep.
if I'm correct.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, again, you know, I think sometimes, you know, the perception and it's a logical perception. The perception is, well, once a case is charged, it's sort of over as far as the investigation is concerned, and now we're moving on from investigation to prosecution. And in most cases, that's true, but certainly. Nothing, even after a conviction or an acquittal, nothing is closed if it involves evidence of additional evidence about somebody else
or new evidence.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, we're always, look, I've been in several cases in the middle of trial where we've during breaks have chased after, you know, certain leads and whatnot. So I mean, it happens. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. And you know, the beauty of our system is it allows us to sort of juggle two balls sometimes when necessary. And so, yeah, I mean, it just like in any case, if the evidence that if we gather additional evidence or new evidence and it's drawing to a logical conclusion that in this particular case that there was more than one person involved, and we can prove that that person was more than just an unwilling participant and more of an aider and abettor, That absolutely will get charged. I'm just telling you right now. I mean, we're not going to hold back on that. So that absolutely. Now, right now, we don't have anything that suggests that, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't surface later.
Now, tell people how, if you need more, I mean, if they have more information about this, I know the number, but you know,
yeah. I mean, certainly, one of the things that I think we're hoping is that maybe, this charging decision that's going to happen tomorrow might open up some folks' memory banks, and maybe they have some additional information, or they have new information. And obviously, as we've talked about on this show many times,
absolutely.
The Silent Observer Muskegon exists in many different platforms. You can go online. If you Google or whatever search engine, I want to give Google all the flowers, whatever search engine you use. If you Google in Muskegon County Silent Observer, it'll take you right to the website where you can input your information, again, anonymously. Or you can download it on your phone. There's an app. Again, go to the App Store, or whether you have an Android or an iPhone, go to the App Store, look for Muskegon Silent Observer, and you'll get the app, download that to your phone, same thing. Or the old-fashioned way. 72 Crime.
72 Crime. That's all you got to remember.
72 Crime. Or if you are so inclined, call me. Leave me a message. And I will get in contact with you. I'm happy to receive that.
Absolutely.
We got some more comments online from Sean Roberts, holding the family in mind as these wounds are reopened, but hoping they get some justice and is able to find some peace this time around. Yes. All right, DJ. I know there's only so much you could talk about. But
yeah, again, as we get more into it, I mean, we can certainly have deeper conversations, and I look forward to that, because I do think, again, what I'm really proud of is the perseverance and tenacity of local law enforcement and the members of my staff. They're the driving force behind all this. They're the ones that, I'm telling you, if you walk into Kelly's office, it's those movies with the string and the pictures, and
yeah.
I mean, it looks exactly like that.
Oh, really?
Her whiteboard is filled. I mean, it is. Just to talk about it really doesn't do it justice. The level of dedication of Muskegon PD and my office in getting this case to where we are today. I mean, it goes without saying. I mean, again, I am one lucky guy. I'm one lucky guy to have that strong of a force, and that's true for every case that we handle. And this is why I do what I do, because I get a chance to work with some really great people.
All right. It's got another online comment, DJ Big Rob. Alicia Cotton said, "Thank you so much, DJ Hilson, for you and your team working hard solving this. All the glory be to God." 34 years. Is this probably one of the oldest cases solved by the department?
Oh, I would say, at least as far as my memory goes, it's one of the oldest cases that I'd say it's one of the older. The only other case that I can remember being old, if you remember, I actually handled this case. I can't think of the guy's name, but he had murdered 2 people, and then we were able to go back in time, and he had committed some murders back in the early 90s as well. And we charged those cases. That was 2016, 15, something, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
Because I had fun, and not to poke fun at my news media friends, but I had fun indicating a really good reporter who's no longer there, Leon Hendricks, asking me about, why the decision was made back in the early 90s to not pursue the murder case. And I said, Leon, I was in high school at the time. I can't answer that question because I was in high school.
A good friend, Leon, Wood TV. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Laynetta Crockett says, "Thank you to all helping my family get justice." I'm sure the community is. I could tell you that the community is happy for the Covington family to get this closure. And when you announce the name tomorrow of the person being charged, and they'd probably be just as shocked. Just yeah, I'm just happy that this happened. That Mother Crockett was here to see it. Such a blessing, DJ. All right.
Thanks, Paul.
It was another case, the Dee Dee Sims case. Is what is happening with that case? Has he in court yet? I understand he might have been a victim of shooting not too long ago.
Yeah, as far as I know the homicide case that we charged has not been to trial yet. That's just awaiting trial, and I'm not exactly sure what date that is set for, but that still is a case waiting to be tried.
Wasn't he a victim of a crime not too long ago?
Memory seems to suggest that might be true, but I don't want to speculate on something that I don't know the complete answer to. But certainly I can find out and let you know.
Okay. All right. Well, I know we only got we got about 10, 12 minutes left. So,
well, I know. I mean, listen. I mean, when you're not around, I just want you to know, PA, when you're not around, Mihan's kind of a taskmaster. I mean, he has cut off some brilliant thoughts of Big Rob because of the fact that we have to stop in time to make the sponsors happy. And listen, I'm all about making the spot. I just want everybody to know I'm all about making the sponsors happy. Really, really about that. But I mean, why would you want to cut off the brilliance of the man sitting next to me?
Absolutely.
What I want to know.
I would like to know that too, Paul.
I'm not going to answer that right now.
So, DJ, I know we only got a few more minutes, but this wasn't your case that I've been waiting all day to ask you that.
Oh, all right.
The Michigan judge tosses out case 15 accused fake electors for presidential.
That is not my case.
That's not your case.
That's not my case.
This is happening in Lansing. So.
Yeah, that was a case charged by the Attorney General's office, and that was actually charged after I got involved in the other case. So that is a separate investigation.
Oh, okay. I've been waiting all day to
ask you. I was
trying not to bother you today.
Not my case.
But okay, let's talk football. PA,
listen,
what you got to say?
Listen, I'll
let you go in case if you.
Yeah, is your internet still solid?
I was hoping we only had 2 minutes left.
Listen, all I want to say is this. I want everybody in the audience to know that I did not say a word. I'll be honest, I was really tempted at halftime to send a text message to my two favorite Lions fans, but I did not, because I've learned over time.
You taught me.
I've learned over time that things happen, and there was still 30 minutes of football left to be played, and anything can happen.
Paul, go ahead.
It was tough, man. It was tough to watch. I had a problem coming into this game, into the season. I didn't think we addressed the defense front line. And, coach felt like he had the right players, but I think we're going to have some problems there. Maybe game one, I mean, maybe the Packers is as good as they are. I mean, they are a playoff team, but I thought we would have got a little bit more pressure on Love, and it didn't happen. And bro, we got some work, man. Green Bay's looking good. Minnesota looked good last night.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to overreact at all. I will say that I was shocked by the fact that Aiden Hutchinson was a non-factor. That was surprising to me.
Me too.
And the fact that Jordan Love had pretty much all day Sunday to throw the ball, that was surprising to me. I was also very surprised by how well the Packer defense played. That was our Achilles heel last year, and hopefully this is not one-off game, and that they continue to play that way throughout the entire season. So yeah, I mean, I was the only thing I was sad about is that I wasn't there to appreciate the victory.
All the times you've been to the
Yes,
Packers game,
look,
every time it seems like you go, they lose.
yes, including last year.
I thought you were at the game, DJ.
Listen, I
Oh.
sat last year. I sat in the rain.
I just knew you was at the game.
Only for at the end of the game to watch all that stupid Honolulu blue, go down to the front of the stadium and Jared Goff.
And that's one thing we had to consider, the numbers game. You just not going to beat them 3 times in a row at Lambeau Field. So the numbers game was already.
Listen, they beat them 3 times in a row leading up to that game. Just so you're aware,
4 times. Man. They did go 4 times.
Yeah.
The numbers were against us on that.
Yeah. Okay.
This is like hitting the Mega Million or the Powerball.
Yeah. Right. The odds are stacking up against us. The numbers. We'll see. But you guys look good, man. You guys look good. This week we got to see. We really find. Not only that, I struggle with my Michigan. You're a Notre Dame fan. I'm a Michigan guy, and boy, it was a tough weekend.
Oh yeah,
it was a tough weekend. It was a tough.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rude awakening going on right now.
How did Notre Dame do?
They lost, I think. I'm trying to think of who they played.
You didn't watch the game?
I watched a little bit of it because they played. They didn't play Saturday. They played. I'm thinking maybe last week. I don't even. I'll be honest with you. I was out of town over the weekend, and so I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of football. But yeah, I know that they play this coming Saturday night, and I can't remember. Texas Tech, I think, is who they have, if I'm not mistaken, or A&M, one of the Texas teams.
Yeah. Well, you guys doing good, man. You're looking good. It's interesting to see how this division play off. Got some good teams in the NFC North.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do think that when the dust settles, that I do think that the top 2 teams are going to be the Packers and Lions. I mean, I'm not worried about the Bears after watching last night. And quite honestly, I'm not. I don't know that I'm necessarily worried about the Vikings either. But really, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. But they're good. I think we might have 3 teams back in it was 3 last year in the playoffs. Yeah. So
I agree.
Yeah,
it's going to be
tough.
I mean, I think our division, the North, has one of the toughest schedules. I know because Packers play Thursday night. They play the Commanders right off the bat, and so now it's home, which is nice. But still, I mean, you go from an offensive juggernaut from the Lions to another offensive juggernaut in the Commanders, and chasing around a rookie quarterback. Or I guess a second-year quarterback. Who was pretty good last year. So yeah, I mean it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle.
It's going to be a good year for football.
Wow.
That's right.
Well,
I mean the next. I was going to say the next matchup is Thanksgiving Day, just so you boys know.
Okay. That's back in Detroit. Okay, we got time to get some stuff together.
Hey, you can strengthen that leg up a little bit more.
Yeah.
I still believe. Now, don't get me wrong, DJ. I still believe. The guy y'all got from Patterson that came in from the Cowboys, like he just.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen. And he didn't even play every down. I mean, they used him very sparingly, and
he took off like a rocket after Jared Goff. And I'm like, how Jared Goff is taller than him, slimmer than him, but he's running faster than Jared. Like Jared was like walking and he's running.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch. That's for sure.
So we're going to be all right, though. We'll be all right. I hope so.
Absolutely.
Politics. Anything you want to say about politics?
Oh, look at that. The time is we're out of time. No, listen, I just hope that, from a state level that our policymakers in Lansing, start really focusing in on what's important to the state, which is getting a budget passed. We're technically the fiscal year, both for the county and the state, ends September 30th, and they still don't have a budget, which is unusual. Typically by June, they have something hashed out, and so. Yeah, it's time for them to stop playing games and get to work and get something done.
Absolutely.
Does that budget impact Muskegon County?
It's a great question. I mean, one of the things, actually, I've got a really important meeting on Friday because right now, at least what the House has proposed for those who don't know, the two chambers propose a budget, and then and they never agree, and then they have to figure out where they're going to compromise. So on the House side, as part of, I don't know, some plan, they cut out a big chunk of DLC funding, including our exit program, which is a reentry, job skills program that we've had for quite some time that has been very successful here in Muskegon County, funded by the Department of Corrections. That's not in the House side's budget. And so tomorrow or Friday, I've got a really important meeting with some legislators who are coming into town to tour our facility, so they understand why they need to not do that. Again, it's a program that is keeping people out of jail, keeping people out of prison, and making them job worthy and job ready. And it's been very successful for the last 6 years. And it's a drop in the bucket. It's roughly around $600,000 to run this program, which is, from a state budget level, is nothing. And the return on investment it's saving the state millions. And so, we got to educate some folks.
Okay.
DJ, last
No,
question.
you will.
Last question. I know we have to go. Last question. I know when I was in law enforcement, the state did not like feds coming in to do their job. They kind of like, no, we got this. Do you think what your president is doing there in America?
Whoa! Come on now, man. I thought between Big
until I
Rob's
come back
question
to
about-
America. Until I come back, he's not my president until I get back.
Okay, I see. Okay.
I'm John Muhammad. John Muhammad president is my president right now.
All right, go ahead with
But-
your question there,
But
investigative journalist.
can't that cause a little friction between the feds and the state police, because they and the local law enforcement, because they like to do their own thing. They like, we got our city, we got it. We just need more money.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, I don't think Muskegon has anything to worry about as it relates to that. But Detroit might have something to worry about. But yeah, I mean, again, you're asking a branch of the military that really doesn't have anything to do with investigations or policing, if you will. I mean, they can do crowd control, I suppose. They can walk the streets. I mean, anybody can really do that. But when it comes to day-to-day operations and answering calls and investigating cases, they have no clue. And so, yeah, does it look like a show of force, I guess, if you've got people in uniform walking around the streets? And is it going to deter criminals? Well, I mean, if they see them, sure, I suppose. But, so much happens sometimes behind closed doors or in the dead of night. I don't know. I would be troubled if something like that happened in our community. I would be troubled by it, and I wouldn't like it. And again, I would say, well, these are federal employees. Take all your stuff to the U.S. Attorney's office. Don't come knocking on my door.
Wow. All right, thank you, DJ.
You're welcome. Thanks for the innovative radio and Facebook Live. I mean, this is I know I've done the yard stream before, but I mean, dual purpose is phenomenal.
Whenever you're ready, it's always standing by for you, DJ. You just gotta let
oh,
Mr.
thank
Sexy Man know. Let him know.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks. Hey, thanks, PA, for the time, and again, thank you guys for your level of commitment to this community and for your friendship. It means a lot to me, and I really feel closer to the community because I know you guys and doing the show. I really appreciate the opportunity and the chance you took on me. So thank you for that.
Oh, it was easy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
we'll see you in a
DJ.
couple weeks.
You're gonna make me cry here in a minute. My head gonna be
Right.
leaking.
Thank you for the great job, man.
You got to end this, Paul. Hurry up, because I'm about ready to
Out of
cry.
all our shows, this probably has been the most touching show. When I know tomorrow that closure starts for the Covington family. Yes, I went to Holy Trinity. Yes, I might be biased because we're one big family there, and I knew her personally. The Covington family. So yeah, it was even tough to ask you a question, holding back the tears, because I know what this means to that family, and I just want to thank you for not giving up, man, for putting the resources out there and taking a chance, and now tomorrow that family could get justice starting tomorrow. So
Amen to that. Yeah, amen to that.
Absolutely.
all right. I'll let you sign off. You can do your sign off, DJ. Go
Yeah,
ahead, DJ.
well, listen. I mean, it's not going to be nearly as good as the sign in. Again, that was super special. Thank you for taking the time on that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If there was a way to capture that more on radio, that would be great. So, hey, Muskegon, thank you again for your support. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you all soon.